Hello again, Aquarius. This is your mid-monthly reading for March 2017. We're going to be looking at the last 2 weeks of March for you guys. And before we begin, I have two cards here for you, which are pretty interesting. So from Le Vampire, you pulled That Death Will Come. Mortal, finite, and fragile. Now, I'm going to read the blessing and working with this card so you can get the full experience here. So the blessing says that knowing that we have one lifetime at a time to make changes, learn lessons, and move closer to the true purpose of our soul is a blessing. Knowing that each lifetime must not be wasted and is precious is a gift that compels us to lead lives of meaning. And then working with this card says that it is time to honestly create meaning in each day and to choose to make the very best of the time you have. Every day is a gift. Make it count. It is time to live more fully and to make a list of what your dreams and plans are. It is time to know that in whatever way you feel trapped, you are killing yourself before life is taken from you. Kill the thing that is killing you. And then on top of that, you pulled Gossip from Chakra Wisdom. Gossip says that this card suggests that appreciating differences is key. This card is a warning that you may lose a valued relationship if you do not appreciate what you have. And then the key ideas are uniqueness of others, support for your vision, lack of appreciation, and refocusing your life. So I feel like these two cards are telling you that life is too short to waste on nonsense. If you're dealing with people who don't appreciate your unique nature, then, it's time to refocus your energy. But, when it comes to the people that are in your life, maybe it's time to realize that life is too short to hold on to things that really are petty and small. Again, Gossip talks about losing relationships because of lack of appreciation. Here is the energy coming through. Seven of Wands. Now, seeing that as a signifier says to me that you're taking a stand for yourself and you're letting people know exactly how you feel. This is what I want, and this is how I feel. I'm not taking any more shit. And, I almost feel like the Oracle cards are saying that life is too short to be, stuck in that kind of a feeling. I mean, yeah, absolutely with the Seven of Wands. I love this card because if you're dealing with difficulties as a signifier, that's perfect to see. But, then again, with what you're pulling there, it's like, do you really feel like you need to be in that space right now, Because again, with That Death Will Come, life is too short to be wasting on things that just, I don't want to say that they don't matter, but they seem so small in comparison to the bigger picture. Especially when it comes to connections that you have with the people that are around you. The past coming through. The Eight of Pentacles. This to me is hard work. The Eight of Pentacles is there's enjoyment in what you're doing, but you're really working on something here. And then the other part of the Eight of Pentacles too, when it comes to, it's because of Gossip. I'm looking at Gossip, I'm looking at the Eight of Pentacles going, where is the time for the people in your life? And maybe you're dealing with a situation at work too, where you're having to stand up to the people that you're working with. In the present, so there's an earth sign, the Queen of Pentacles. Now, the Seven of Wands and seeing that Eight and then the Queen, I almost feel like, you're using your voice here and letting this person know how you feel. Now, this could definitely, I feel like this is an earth sign coming through. If you're looking at it in terms of yourself, this is about, you being able to work with what you have. The Queen of Pentacles is fantastic. She reminds me of one of those Southern moms who, if they have a bag of flour and a couple of other odds and ends, they can make a meal out of it. You know what I mean? She's perfect at using what she has. And very in tune with herself and her surroundings, nature, very down to earth. But I feel like this is somebody that you're working with. and you're like communicating to them about how you feel. It's like you're standing up to this person almost. Future conditions, these two are perfect. They're perfect. You know, if you're looking at the work that you're doing right now, it's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. The Nine of Pentacles to me is like a vacation card. Like being able to sit back and really enjoy the things that you've worked for. And with the Eight of Pentacles, yeah, you have worked for it. You busted your ass for it. Now it's time to enjoy it. But that Queen there, you know, as you, this is perfect. It's perfect. You're really working with what you have, and you've created beauty in your life, and you're going to get to be able to enjoy it. And that Seven of Wands is saying that you're taking a stand for yourself and for what you're working for. But I feel like this is somebody you're working with, and it's like you're standing up to them almost. But I don't feel like there's anything negative involving that Queen. But as far as whatever you're doing with your work situation is absolutely fantastic. You've busted your ass, and now you get to enjoy what you've done. Oh, the best path to follow. Beautiful, beautiful. So what you're working for, to me, it has to do with your passions. This isn't just a job. This is something that lights a fire in you. Seeing the Ace of Wands, yeah. And that being your best path to follow is saying that you need to, you know, really take advantage of the opportunities that are coming through. I almost feel like, you know, you've worked so hard to get to where you're at right now that there may be, you know, an opportunity for more. But passion, there's passion there. And then there's that Queen. And I'm like, right? But the Ace of Wands is perfect. Perfect. Follow your passions, you know? And these two together, beautiful. Oh, shit. Well... And in your environment, you have clarity of thought, which is perfect for Aquarius. I love seeing the Ace of Swords and seeing that in your environment again. You know, next to that Ace of Wands, and these new opportunities to go after your passions, and you have clarity of thought. And amazing ability to communicate between the Seven and the Ace, absolutely. And you're communicating involving your work. And it's not just work. It's something that you have a passion for. It's almost like you guys are realizing that, you know, with the Oracle cards, again, that life is too short to be wasting on silly things. But I still feel like there's something going on with an earth sign. Like I can't, yeah. Like letting them know how you feel. Maybe standing up to them. But I don't see it as a bad thing. Like you feel like you need to make a stand toward them because they're doing something shitty. Absolutely not. It's more like, I don't know, like you're trying to communicate the way that you feel to this person, but maybe it's just not, I almost feel like it's not coming off as like, you know, smooth, almost. Like, just blunt and straightforward. Especially with the Ace of Swords sitting there. You know, but again, the clarity of thought, absolute clarity of thought, and amazing communication going on right now. Your hopes and your fears, and yeah, absolutely. Look at the Pentacles and the Wands, man. The Four of Wands is celebration, but it's a different type of celebration. When I see the Four of Wands, you know, and you see these people, and they're like, yeah, look at we've got. You know, this started, we got it started, you know, it's not finished yet, but look at how far we've got, you know, we actually did it, right? Like you understand that there's still more to do, but you're taking a minute right now to really celebrate what you've done. And you may be doing this with another person, you know, I mean, look at it, right? Clear communication to somebody involving what you're doing, your work. But it's your passion. Wow, okay. Oh, and the outcome, fairness and balance, justice. I like seeing that because, you know, to me, it almost feels like with the Seven of Wands sitting there that, you know, maybe you've had to take a stand for yourself in regards to your work, and like you're changing things up now. With the aces, it's new. It's a new start. You've busted your ass in the past, but I feel like with the Seven of Wands, it's like you're needing to stand up for yourself, and it's like you're clearly communicating that now. And it may have to do with a person, but I feel like this person is understanding of that because, clearly there's some celebration here. Justice is saying that there's this fairness and this balance when it comes to what you're working for. Justice is all about making amends for past wrongs as well, right? Not just for you, but knowing that, wrongs that have been done to you will be amended as well. But I feel like looking at justice, that's more about fairness and balance in your life right now, and especially in your work situation. But still, there's a person involved. Now, let's pull a clarifier on justice. Ooh, the Knight of Wands. Look at the fire. Look at the fire and the passion and the drive. And again, looking at the Knight of Wands, there's still that feeling here like you're trying to communicate to somebody about, not just about how you feel about your work, but I feel like how you feel about them. I mean, there's not really a lot of cups showing up, but seeing the Knight of Wands, yeah. I don't know why. I feel like maybe there's, for some of you, a really good relationship going on with somebody that you're working with. And clearly you're like hoping to celebrate with them on this new start, this new fresh start, right? This is a fantastic reading. But seeing the Knight of Wands as the clarifier for justice is saying that, you've got where you had to make a stand for yourself when it comes to your work. Now you're able to follow your passions, rather than continue working for something that I feel like maybe wasn't enough before, but look at where it leads, And it's new, because it's new, right? All right, Aquarius, we are going to look at soul trees to see what other messages we can get for you guys, but I really like this reading. Now, with that death will come again clearly here, especially with the aces. You're realizing that life is too short to be wasting on working towards something that, may not have been fulfilling you before, right? And it's like you took a stand for yourself. You're clearly communicating how you feel, and it may have to do with a person, but here you're really getting to enjoy the work that you're doing, and it's your passion, it's your drive, right? Break free. Absolutely. Break free from being tied down to doing things that, aren't your passion, which is exactly what I feel like you guys are going to do, and you're really going to get to enjoy the things that you're doing. Mystery. Oh, I love it. Mystery is one of those cards where it's like, really appreciating the mystery of the universe and the way that things work out. Live from your heart. Absolutely. With the wands that are showing up, that is exactly what you're doing. It's not, there isn't a lot of cups showing up, but the fire and the drive and that clarity of thought, I really feel like, this is something that lights your soul up. Again, live from your heart. And then mystery. Like, I almost wonder what some of you guys are doing seeing mystery show up, because you're breaking free from the mundane and you're doing something mysterious is what I feel like. But it's your passion. It is your passion. And it's like you're really tapping into the mystery of the universe and the way things work out the way that they do. I love it, Aquarius. This one's really neat. And I really feel like, you guys are breaking away from the usual and really tapping into your passions. And what you create out of these aces here is going to be fantastic. Between Justice and the Knight of Wands, you are on fire and going after your passions. And it's paying off. That's the best part. I love it. Okay, Aquarius, so I really feel like you guys took a stand for yourself when it comes to your work. And you're definitely breaking free from the things that are holding you back. But I feel like, you're really wanting to continue to put in the hard work, but it's just something different is what I feel like, especially with the aces showing up the way they are. Because here, you're following your passions, but you're clear and you're clearly communicating exactly how you feel and where you stand on what it is that you're doing. But the results are paying off. You're really going to get to enjoy the work that you're doing now. And it's your passion. It's your passion, your fire, and your drive. I love it. Now, when it comes to gossip, and it speaks about, support for your vision and the appreciation of your own uniqueness and the uniqueness of others. Again, I feel like there's a person involved here. It's like you're clearly communicating to them how you feel about the work that you're doing. But, I still feel like there's going to be some celebration with this person. Now, when it comes to your passions, again, with break free and justice, there's this fairness and this balance where I feel like before seeing the Eight of Pentacles as the past coming through, you've busted your ass, but I feel like, it's showing up because things are starting to change for you as far as what you're going to bust your ass for now, rather than something that really wasn't working out for you. Because, again, with that death will come, it's like you realize that life is too short to be wasting on things that are not fulfilling for you. And again, I still feel like there's a person involved. And then seeing the Knight of Wands as the clarifier for justice, I love it because, again, there's that fairness and that balance when it comes to your passions and seeking those new adventures and creating those new opportunities in your life, especially with the Ace of Wands being your best path to follow. Now, with mystery and live from your heart, really trusting in the unknown and the mystery of the universe. I love it. It makes me feel like maybe something mysterious is going on here, right? But living from your heart, you're definitely doing with all the fire that you're pulling here. And I think it's fantastic. I think the last 2 weeks of March are going to be fantastic for you guys. You're going to create something a little bit different than the norm. You're really breaking away from that and following your passions, but also you have that amazing clarity of thought.